The war against terrorism in Nigeria, Northeast to precise, has spanned over 10 years since the Boko Haram terrorist group resorted to violence against the state in 2009. The Nigerian military has since been actively engaged in the battle for the soul of Nigeria. The turn of events has witnessed sordid tales of maiming and killings of innocent people by Boko Haram terrorists. This period also saw an increase in kidnapping of women and children, which drew the world attention to Nigeria. The Nigerian military has indeed risen to the occasion in ensuring that the territorial integrity of the country is preserved due to concerted efforts of all the relevant stakeholders, including President Muhammadu Buhari. This report took a cursory look at the various issues at stake as it concerns the protection of human rights, human rights by the Nigerian military in executing the war, as well as the multiple allegations of human rights violations against the Nigerian military by organizations such as Amnesty International. This report also commissioned to put paid to speculations and to present issues in proper perspective for all sundry. Boko Haram violence escalated from revenge attacks on the Nigerian police and security forces to soft targets, attacks on public servants, politicians, moderate imams, and civilians through bombing and shooting attacks on schools, churches, mosques, markets, government installations, and other public places. Now, on the war against terrorism in Nigeria, the Nigerian military has fought the war against terrorism since 2009. However, there was a period when the Nigerian military was struggling to understand the peculiarity of the war. And in that process, lots of casualties were inflicted on them by the Boko Haram terrorist group, who were engaged in guerrilla warfare and were also conversant with the terrain more than the Nigerian military. Save Humanity, after comprehensive scrutiny of the operations of the Nigerian military in the war against terrorism, states that the Nigerian military has displayed a considerable commitment towards the fight against terrorism in Nigeria, and Northeast in particular. The determination of the Nigerian Army is impeccable and worthy of commendation, given the fact that despite the avalanche of challenges associated with unconventional warfare such as these, it has strived to adhere to global best practices in human rights. The Nigerian military must sustain the tempo of the war by ensuring Boko Haram ISWAP terrorists are not allowed to recruit any further in our communities. Boko Haram ISWAP terrorists must surrender in the light of the prevailing circumstances in an attempt to ensure a seamless transition into civilian through the instrumentality of Operation Safe Corridor. The Nigerian government must accept repentant terrorists, but must ensure that they are fully rehabilitated so that they can fit back into the society.